binoculars and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Eric Garcia as it have been reported that Barca are open to selling the La Masia defender and they are ready to accept 10 million euros or even a loan deal. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking on this report claiming that 3 out of ever Barcelona players have been told to leave by June 30. We are also going to be discussing more on that report. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, endeavor to hit that subscribe button, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Stuck in a financially dire situation, Barcelona will have to reduce their wage bill by over 200 million euros ahead of the summer transfer window. They evidently have a plan in place to raise money and have already received the green light from La Liga over their financial feasibility plan. There are already a fair few players on their exit shortlist, with the likes of Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres headlining it. Frank Kessie and Rafinha are also in the news, with a lesser chance of leaving though. Another player that keeps making the rounds in the departure rumors is Eric Garcia, even though several reports have claimed him to be untouchable by Xavi. However, according to a recent report relayed by AS, Barcelona are considering selling Eric Garcia this summer. Garcia was the first choice centre-back for Barcelona through the opening stages of last season before Andreas Christensen won over that spot. Marcos Alonso also trumped the Spaniard as the campaign went on. His place in the team next season will even be more complicated, with Inigo Martinez set to join Barcelona as a free agent from Athletic Club. As such, he has been declared a transferable asset by the club. Inter Milan are interested in signing Garcia, and Barcelona would accept an offer in the region of 10 million euros. Having signed him for free, the Blaugranas are set to profit when he leaves at any amount. The Italian giants are also considering a loan signing and taking over his entire wages for next season. It could potentially also carry an option to buy him permanently. Eric Garcia has lost his place completely in the Spanish national team as well. At the age of just 22, he needs to play regularly to earn his spot back. The final decision, understandably, rests on the coaching staff, who could look to use him as a pivot if they cannot sign any player. Even as a pivot, Eric Garcia have not failed well there. Like when Xavi used him towards the back end of the La Liga season, he was never impressive in that position. So where is Eric Garcia impressive? This is a guy who was signed to Manchester City some 2 years ago as a free agent, and of course, so far he has not been the level that many expected of him, and many have been calling the club to sell him because he adds no value. Xavi has his first choice centre back pairing. Eric Garcia, we have players like Christensen, Araujo, Koundé, who have been the main choice centre backs, and they have been doing well. But whenever Eric Garcia is given the opportunity to play matches, he always costs us one way or another. And when Xavi decided, okay, because of training, we've been seeing this guy playing the pivot role well in training, even when given the chance to play as a pivot, Eric Garcia don't do well there. And I think that, to be honest, Barca is not the level of Eric Garcia. The earlier Barca tried to sell him, the better. This is a summer window where we definitely know sales needs to take place for us to have a successful transfer window. Of course, after La Liga did, approved our viability plan, Barcelona is now in their hands to facilitate transfers, and by doing so, they need to depart players. They need to cash in on players who are not necessarily useful in the team. And Eric Garcia, have shown clearly that he's one of such players. So a lot of is spoken about Eric Garcia's future lately, which is so uncertain, and definitely Barcelona have to sell him. They have to sell him. But this report claims that even if it is a loan move, Barca have no problem to loan him out. Of course, few clubs are showing interest. Inter Milan have shown interest. So it remains to be seen what happens to Eric Garcia moving forward. But to be honest, it will be a shock. It will be surprising to see Eric Garcia still being in the Barcelona squad next season, most especially when players like Inigo Martinez from Athletic Club is heading to Barcelona as a free agent, which means Eric Garcia will be way down the pecking order. So it will be interesting to see how Barcelona go about their transfer business, because definitely there are certain players whose future right now looks more outside of Barca than in Barca. And I think Eric Garcia should be one of those players who should be high up there in the transfer list for FC Barcelona. Of course, yesterday we did announce the signing of Ilkay Gundogan, a deal done, and Vitor Roque's move is also close. There are other transfer targets that Barca are prioritizing, and those targets, we can't get our hands on all of them if we don't cash in on players. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Barcelona's transfer window strategy is picking up heat. Necessitated to act swiftly, the club must carry out an array of exits before successfully integrating new players into the team. Short-handed by their financial issues imposed by La Liga, ensuring that the exit door is not left barren in a crucial condition for Barca to execute the list of signing they have drawn up. According to a recent report by Sport, the Barca board pays close attention to the exits of players who are unimportant to Xavi, especially those who have just returned from loans and are expensive for the team. These players are like Gustavo Maya, Clement Lenglet, Umtiti, Des, Collado. The combined cost of these players is over 50 million euros for the club in the upcoming season. As such, the La Liga champions are keen to offloading them as soon as they can this summer. And as per the report, three of them, Lenglet, Umtiti, and Collado, could be out of the club by June 30. Lenglet is reported to be the first departure out of the aforementioned names. The French centre-back has returned from Spurs after completing his loan spell there. But the English club is said to be pleased with his performance and are in talks over a permanent transfer, willing to offer 5 million euros for him. After that, Umtiti and Collado may be the ones bidding their farewell. Umtiti in particular has a high chance of finding a new destination soon following his resurgence from Lecce. There is interest in him from Saudi Arabia and Lyon. The Frenchman offering resistance regarding a move is improbable considering his upward trajectory since going out on loan. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.